So in today's video, we are cooking up scalloped potatoes, which a lot of people know is one of those comfort food classics, thin sliced potatoes with a creamy cheese sauce, but it can be a little labor intensive and complicated. But in this recipe, I'm gonna show you how it is made super easy with the Instant Pot. So if you stick around, I'll show you exactly how to make it. So this recipe you can guarantee is a winner because it has been the most trafficked recipe on my entire website. Like, just in terms of numbers, it blows all the rest away. And two, I have gotten some really great feedback because of it. Lots of people have made this recipe and told me that they absolutely love it. I've made little tweaks to it over time, and I really think that I have got it to the perfect scalloped potato consistency, that those potatoes are nice and soft, but they still hold up, and the creamy cheese sauce is easy to make. And yeah, it's just a little sinful, but you know, it's not like we're making scalloped potatoes every day, although maybe we should. So we got to start this recipe, of course, with potatoes. And what I do is I get out my peeler, peel off all those skins, make sure they're nice and clean, and then we thin slice them. If you are a master of a mandolin, feel free to use your mandolin. I am not a mandolin ninja, so I just use my knife. And you want to slice them to about a 1/4 inch thickness. That is very important in this recipe because if you slice them too thick, they'll still be too crunchy, and if you slice them too thin, they're gonna fall apart. So 1/4 inch I have found is just right. Now, in case you're not familiar with the Instant Pot, it is an electric pressure cooker, but it is an appliance that has sort of overtaken the internet, and kitchens across America, people are cooking with these every single day and are looking for really great recipes for that. So that is why I created this recipe, because I love scalloped potatoes, I love my Instant Pot. We brought the two together. And then I add the potatoes with a cup of vegetable broth into the Instant Pot, and then catch this, I set them on manual for 1 minute. Now, when it comes to working with the Instant Pot, it does need time to heat up, so that's about 5, 6, 7 minutes depending. But then once it's sealed, it literally takes a minute to cook them. Then after a minute, you go ahead and throw off the quick release pressure so that it relieves all the pressure out of there. And as soon as that's dissipated, you go ahead and open it up, and you're gonna have your cooked potatoes. Now from there, I'm gonna transfer them into a casserole dish. You can do a square dish, you can do a round dish, it doesn't really matter as long as it's oven safe. And then from there, I go ahead and preheat my oven to the broiler setting because honestly, we're on the downhill stretch of this recipe. All we gotta do is make the cheese sauce, and then it's all ready for the broiler. So to make the cheese sauce, you'll see after you've removed the potatoes, there's still gonna be a little bit of liquid in the bottom. It's not a lot of liquid, but it's just enough. And it's really nice and starchy so that we get a nice thick creamy cheese sauce. So into that, then I add the heavy cream, and then I get some really great white sharp cheddar cheese, and I shred that myself. I do like to shred my own cheese because pre-shredded is treated with potato starch, which can kind of mess with the texture of your cheese sauce. We've already got enough potato starch in the sauce that we've got going on in the pot, so let's leave out the excess and go ahead and shred our own cheese. And then I add that in with the cream along with salt and pepper and a little bit of thyme and garlic powder. And then I put the Instant Pot on saute mode. And what this is gonna do is this is gonna heat up that sort of inside liner of the pot so that it gets nice and warm so that we can melt the cheese. And then as you start stirring, you'll see this in literally a minute's time will turn into a creamy cheese sauce, which then from there we take and we pour over all of those potatoes that we had sitting to the side in the casserole dish. And I kind of move the potatoes around just so that the cheese gets in all the nooks and crannies, fully covered throughout. And then with about 2 ounces of reserved cheese, I just sprinkle that right over the top because I really like that crispy effect when you've got scalloped potatoes and some of it crisps up on the top and you dig into it and oh, so good. And then you throw that in the oven under that preheated broiler for about 4 to 5 minutes. You do want to keep an eye on it. So what you're gonna look for is you're gonna get that nice and bubbly, like the whole thing is just gonna be moving around and doing its thing, and that top is gonna start to get really nice and brown and crispy. And then you take it out of the oven, you give it about a minute or two just to settle and set and cool off because you don't wanna burn yourself with the molten cheese sauce, and then it is ready to serve. Now, like I said, this recipe has gotten rave reviews, and that's not just from my family, because obviously you're a little bit biased around here, but the random people of the internet seem to like it, and I've gotten some really great feedback. There were a ton of people who made it at Easter time. They said it really made their Easter extra special. So if you want this recipe, I've got it over at joaniesimon.com. You can pin it, you can save it, you can print it, you can do all those things with it. But if you like this video, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up, and feel free, if you haven't already, to subscribe, because you know that I will be back here next week with another great recipe and something else fun to share with you guys. So thank you so much as always for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you real soon. All right, bye.